I am coming at you today from this Alaskan winter wonderland to let you know that I finally got my hands on a viral kitchen gadget that I am so stoked about, and I can't wait to open it up with you in today's video. Let's go get warmed up inside and I'm gonna show you what I got. I got a Ninja Creami. This was a Christmas gift from my parents and I can't wait to try it out. I've been wanting this for such a long time. I've seen these all over the internet, people making these awesome ice cream recipes that you can use pretty much any recipe you want. People are making like protein ice cream. I'm gonna unbox this with you guys today. I'm gonna let you know my thoughts on if I think it looks like it's gonna be a good buy. I have high hopes for it. It's come highly recommended from other people on the interwebs, and my mom has one and she loves hers, so let's get this opened up. Okay, so I want to show you everything that came with the Ninja Creami. There are two versions that I know of these machines, the regular version and the deluxe. I got the regular, which lets you make ice cream, sorbet, light ice cream, and milkshake. That's all I would ever really use it for, so that's why this one was fine for me. The deluxe gives you more options of things that you can make, but I'm mostly interested in making ice cream. I especially wanted to do like the high protein ice creams where you basically make kind of like a protein shake and you can stick it in here and use your Ninja Creami and turn it into ice cream consistency. I thought that sounded so good. I'm always looking for ways to add more protein into my diet and for my kids, so I thought that would be so good. And I'm also super excited for the sorbet function because you can just put in some fruits and stuff and get yummy, yummy sorbets. Let's see what this came with. So we got the instruction guide. In here it comes with a quick start guide. 15 plus delicious recipes and instructions. I will need to look through these. It also came with an extra pint container. So there's one here, and then there is one container in here. So with this version, you get 2 containers that you can make ice cream with. I did already go ahead and order 4 more containers because from what I have heard is it is best to have multiple containers so that you can make one big batch of ice creams, get them frozen, and then you just pull one out, excuse me, you just pull one out when you want to make a pint of ice cream and then you have them ready to go. So that I would definitely recommend getting extra containers. So one thing that you do need to assemble is getting the blade onto this guy. So I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to do that. Press and hold the latch on top of where the lid is to install and remove the paddle. When fully installed, the latch will be centered on the paddle and will be slightly loose. Let's see. I got the blade installed. All you do to get the blade on and off is pull this lever to the side and you stick the blade in and then you let it go and it'll rest in the center. It tells you correct position with paddle installed is like this. So I think we did that right. Here's the user manual. I'm just going in without reading it, but you know, maybe I should read this. It explains you the steps on how to use the Ninja Creami. You're gonna plug it in. You will take your pint of, assume I had a frozen base in my pint already. You would set it inside the cup, like so. You then put the lid on your cup. I've never done this before, so it might take me a second. Read some more instructions, figured it out. There's a little white line here on the handle and a little white line here. You're gonna line your lid up with the lines and then you just turn it to the left and it clicks into place. Now, assuming I had ice cream in here, it would be ready to creamify. And before we go any further, we gotta make some ice cream bases that we can actually use in our Ninja Creami. For my first recipe, I am going to do a protein chocolatey type of ice cream base. I got this recipe just from a friend over on Instagram. I will tag her page in my video description if you want to see that. I will also list out the ingredients that I use in the video description as well, so you can refer to it. But I obviously will let you know if it ends up tasting good. These are the ingredients I am going to use for my recipe. Protein powder, Fairlife milk. I have been told that this is a really good type of milk that works well in the Ninja Creami. I'm going to do some chocolate collagen, cocoa powder, some sugar-free chocolate pudding mix. And for this first step, this is everything. I know everyone has different dietary preferences on things that they use in their recipes and whatnot. This is just what I'm using. I am going to try to do all different kinds of recipes on my channel with my Ninja Creami. I am so stoked to try all the things. Some will be on the more healthy side, some maybe not. Some will have fresh, whole ingredients. Some might have artificial flavors. I'm not someone who is a hard line on perfect in anything. I just try to have balance. So for my go-to first maiden voyage in the Creami, this is what I'm gonna do. So this is how my two bases look so far. For this chocolatier recipe, the girl who I got this recipe from says to use chocolate protein powder. I only have vanilla, so I used vanilla. She also said to use half Fairlife chocolate milk, half Fairlife white milk. I only had the white kind, so I used all white. But I did use the chocolate collagen that I added, which she didn't have in her recipe. I just thought that would be a fun little chocolatey addition. The cocoa powder, which she said to do, and the pudding mix. The pudding mix is what makes your ice cream extra creamy. So I have heard reviews from people, if you do like just a protein shake base, it's not as creamy as if when you use the Jello pudding mix. So you could use the sugar-free, you could use regular. My mom has this awesome, like an all-natural type of pudding mix that is made with nice, clean, great ingredients that I'm gonna try to order on Amazon to try that with these. But really, the possibilities are endless. And the next tool that you are also going to want is one of these babies. Do you have a frother? I got one of these in my stocking for Christmas this year. And all you gotta do is stick it in here and blend up your drinks, and then you're ready to go. You don't have to dirty a blender or anything. But if you don't have something like this, you certainly can just do all your mix-ins in a blender and then pour it into your jar. There is a line on here that shows you the max fill line, so you don't want it to go higher than that. Hello. So now these are all blended up. That little frother is so awesome. If you don't have something like that, they're very inexpensive on Amazon. I will link in my video description below if you need one of those, because it's going to be super helpful if you're ever wanting to make something like this. People also use them for mixing up like coffees, teas, homemade drinks. Really good for that. I'm going to let these settle a little bit because from blending them, they got a little bubbly. I want the bubbles to kind of raise out, and then these are ready to go in the freezer. A few important Ninja Creami tips. You need to freeze your base for 24 hours or you will not get a good ice cream. 24 hours is what they recommend for freezing your base. So this is gonna be a 2-day process. You're not gonna get your Creami and have ice cream the same day. It needs to be the next day. Keep that in mind. Also, when you take it out of the freezer to use, and I'll show you this when I take it out tomorrow, is you wanna let it sit on your counter for about 10 to 15 minutes before you use it. It is just works better on the machine to have it thawed for a few minutes before using it. They also warn you not to put actual ice in there, and don't put completely frozen fruit solid in there. The Creami is not a blender, and so it can ruin your blade if you put in like ice or frozen fruit. If you are using, you can certainly use frozen fruit, but it says to let it thaw and you kind of mush it up first, and then you're gonna freeze your base and put it in the freezer. Hopefully that makes sort of sense. It's nice that they can stack directly on top of each other. Another thing to note is you don't want it tilted or sideways or anything in the freezer, because your liquid needs to be flat on the top when it goes into the creamy. So there we go. I'm noticing also a little separation. Part of that is just the air bubbles, but I also think when the blade goes in and mixes it up to turn it into ice cream, it's gonna kind of reincorporate everything. That's my hope. I also don't think I mentioned that this video is not sponsored by Ninja Creami. This was a gift I got for Christmas from my parents, and I just wanted to show you my new toy, and I thought maybe you guys would be interested in it. If you have thought about purchasing one of these, you can kind of see what my honest review is. I'll let you know my honest thoughts once we actually make the ice cream tomorrow. Can't wait. It's gonna be hard to wait 24 hours for this, but good things are worth the wait. So I will catch you all tomorrow, and we will give this baby a try, and I will see you then. All right, my friends, I am so excited. It is the next day, and I'm ready to have my Ninja Creami protein ice cream dessert. So I have let this thaw on the counter for about 10 minutes. One thing to make sure is sometimes when you freeze liquids, it ends up with a little dome on the top. They say you need to flatten that before you put it in the creamy. The creamy needs to be, your base needs to be completely flat for it to not damage your machine. So keep that in mind. I am just making sure this is all nice and smooth. I think it looks okay. Is this everyone's first week back to reality? That's how it is in our household. My kids went back to school today. I went back to school today. For those of you who may be new here, I am substitute teaching at my kids' school. I'm just like a building sub, so I go and they just have me fill in where they need help for that day. And I've been really loving it. It's been super fun, but now I'm back to work. Now my kids are back to school, back on routine, and I've honestly been looking forward to it. But after a long day at school with the lovely, wonderful children, I'm really looking forward to eating this dessert. Let's get it on the machine and see how it goes. I'm just turning my machine on. Okay, I turned it, got it locked on. I think we are good to go. I'm gonna push the ice cream function, and it is fairly loud, forewarning. So its first cycle is done. It took about 4 minutes or so to release the cup. You push this button and it comes out. And now I need to get the lid off. Okay, so after your first spin, it's gonna look kind of like this. I have seen what most people do is they add a little splash of milk, and then you push re-spin, and that's gonna give you the more creamy texture. So I'm gonna do that now. This is the texture after that second spin. This literally is what it feels like when ice cream comes out of the freezer. So I feel like I am happy with this texture. If you want it more creamy, you can do another re-spin and do it that way. At this point, you can add a mix-in to your ice cream if you want that. So of course I do. I'm gonna add a couple Oreo thins to make this kind of like a chocolatey cookies and cream flavor, because that just sounds good. I am going to just break up 3 of these little Oreo thins, put them in the center, and then stick it in the machine. There's a button for mix in. I'm gonna push the mix in button and it's gonna mix it all together. This really looks so good. Do you see how it perfectly just blends up whatever mix-ins you put in there? The options are endless. You could do whatever you want, but I mean, this texture is just so cool. I never thought that a protein ice cream could be this creamy and soft and delicious. So I think it's time to try it. What do you say? Oh yeah, this is a winner for sure. I'm so happy I have this. This is gonna really be a huge game changer for healthier desserts around here. If I can get more protein in when I'm eating a treat, I am all for that. So this is a win. I can't wait to experiment with more recipes. I'm so excited. I am going to really be excited to use my freeze-dried fruits in these creamy recipes. I have so many different kinds of fruit powders that I want to try on the sorbet function because I think that would be amazing. If you have one of these, please let me know. If you got any favorite recipes, I would love any ideas in the comments down below. And if you don't have one and you think you might want one, I will link the same one that I have from Amazon in the video description. You can check them out there. Remember, I will also link the extra pints so you can have more to make more pints at once. That's something you're gonna want. Mine are arriving in the mail, I think on Friday, hopefully soon. So I'll be able to make more recipes then. While I eat my ice cream, I wanted to tell you the other day, we had a visitor next door to our house. A nice, beautiful moose showed up at our neighbor's house, so we all went outside to go look at it from a distance. It was just eating our neighbor's branches of their apple tree, but that's just covered in snow now, but that's what moose do. We have seen a lot more moose in the neighborhood lately. We think it's just because there's so much snow out in the mountains and the wilderness area that they're coming more into our streets because it's just easier for them to walk on our plowed roads than through the heavy snow. But I will send a little footage at the end of my video for you to see our moose visitor from the other day. She was so tall. She was a huge moose, but they're just always fun to see. One thing I love about Alaska is you never know when you're gonna turn the corner and see a wild animal. We've seen bears, moose, porcupines. What else have we seen? I don't remember, but it's really fun. They're so fun to see, and my kids love spotting the animals too. Well, I'm gonna finish my ice cream. I mean, I shouldn't eat this entire thing. This could feed probably 2 people, that's for sure, but you never know. I'm gonna wind down, get ready for bed, get my kiddos ready for bed, and back to the grind tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you got any questions, let me know in this description down below. And I will catch you on the next, I usually say freeze drying adventure. I mean, my next video will be about freeze drying, but now we've got some extra things to throw in, so I might need a new term. Anyway, see you guys later. Bye. That thing is so tall.